For my entire life, I've been the guy to wake up and just eat. I would always feel the urge to eat as soon as I wake up and always heard that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Little did I know at the time that I was so wrong. I decided to implement intermittent fasting into my routine, and my productivity has never been this high in my life. And I've also never felt this good about doing the hard work. People know that your brain is sharp in the morning. This is not because you just woke up and it's early. This is because you haven't had your first meal yet. If you eat in the morning before working, especially carbs and sugar like so many people have with cereal or pastries, your productivity and capacity for work goes down so much that it is basically destroyed. If you implement this tactic into your routine, you have the ability to rise above your colleagues at work, start that business you've been waiting on, or get better grades than all of your fellow students. You will not just be a little more productive than them. With this tactic, your work will destroy them. Getting all of your work done for the day or even for the week before lunchtime is the best feeling ever. Point 1. What is intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting is when you follow a schedule of fasting and then a schedule of time where you can eat. The most popular and the one I do is fast for 16 hours and eat within an 8-hour window. This is easiest done by stopping eating around 7 p.m. and then eating again around 11 a.m. the next day. You can stretch this out more if you want. Many people do the 20 to 4 schedule, and this works for them, but for me, I am fine with 16-8 because I never have to work past 11 a.m. Fasting is not starvation. During fast, your body first uses its glucose stores and then fat stores while preserving muscle. Some muscle loss may occur with long fasts, but intermittent fasting, there will be no change in your muscle gain or loss as long as you keep up your protein intake. Decide on a method that suits you for intermittent fasting and get started. If you want to get started on a smaller scale and you cannot control your eating urges right away, then practice by just skipping or delaying breakfast. Point 2. Benefits of intermittent fasting. Dr. Andrew Huberman, neuroscientist, says fasting allows the brain to function optimally because blood glucose levels are low, providing heightened focus and concentration in a fasted state. Once you start working early in the morning before eating, you will realize this is very true. You'll be able to laser focus on your tasks, not getting distracted like you usually do, and not feeling the side effects of having a big meal and being tired because of it. With that said, you want to especially avoid having big meals throughout your day, carbohydrates, and constant snacking for optimal productivity levels. Now, this is most important in the morning when you are not having your eating window to not eat anything, but throughout the rest of the day, if you want to remain productive, avoid those 3 things. Carbohydrates is one of the biggest ones because this will sap your energy, and these are not needed at all in your diet. Another thing intermittent fasting benefits is that it reduces your decision fatigue in the morning because you do not have to decide on what you're going to eat for breakfast, how you're going to make it, when you're going to eat it. You already have something in your routine, so you won't sap up any of your brain points that you can use on productivity tactics and doing the hard work. When your body is in fat burning mode, steady energy is given, no big crashes. So throughout however long you need to work, ideally in 2 90-minute blocks, you can just steadily get through your work with no distractions and no sleepiness hitting you. Dr. Andrew Huberman emphasizes to stay hydrated and include electrolytes to help maintain your energy while in this fasted state. I usually just drink water and I'm fine, but whatever works for you, works for you. Ever since I started intermittent fasting, I have been completing all my work in the morning, including scripting, recording and editing videos, and my homework from my college classes. This has allowed me to relax in the later part of my day and have a good time with friends without worrying about anything at all. Point 3. Starting intermittent fasting. When intermittent fasting, obviously, don't eat anything during the fasting period. Focus on drinking water. Add electrolytes if you want. Coffee is also good as long as it's black. And if you are drinking coffee, down this right before you start working so you can get the full boost of the caffeine intake. Now that you know what to do during intermittent fasting, you need to make sure you are eating the right things after the fast. If you don't care about healthy eating, ignore this section. But if you do, focus around protein, healthy fats, and limiting carbs and sugar as much as possible. So this could be any kind of meat, chicken, steak, fish. These meats are great. Avocado is great. You could have cheese if you want. And this kind of stuff. Just do not ingest a high amount of sugar or carbohydrates if you can. Personally, when I intermittent fast, I stop eating at 7 p.m. the night before. I wake up, fill up my water, drink that while working, and if I have an especially hard task, I'll drink caffeine every once in a while, depending on how I feel. And then I will do my 2 deep work blocks. After these blocks are over, I will eat at 11:30 to 12 p.m. I'll eat a decently big meal where I'll have chicken, eggs, avocado, and I change up some other stuff every once in a while. If you don't want to change what you eat, that is fine. Focus on the fasting part as your main priority for this tactic. Point 4. Challenges and how to overcome them. Originally, when starting this, if you usually eat breakfast, you will get very hungry during the morning. Ignore this by staying extra productive, the whole reason why we are doing this in the first place. You can use tools for blocking out hunger during this time while your body is still adjusting to your new schedule, like water, black coffee, or herbal tea. Chewing gum also helps suppress hunger if needed. You will get used to this shortly, so don't worry about having to use these tactics long term. Water is always important, but your body will eventually adapt to your new eating schedule. If one day you are going out with friends or family to a breakfast or a late dinner, you can totally still eat. It won't mess up everything you've strived for. Just try not to have a huge meal, because after fasting for a while, you won't be so hungry in the mornings anyways. And know that you just probably won't be as productive that day unless you wake up before the breakfast to do your work, which is probably an even more solid option. Every so often, I will go out to breakfast with friends, and I will just wake up before and do as much of work as I can for the day, using my 10 times boosted productivity from this technique. I also don't worry about the breakfast messing up with my eating routine, because if you eat breakfast 1 or 2 days a week when you've been on this schedule for so long, you will have no issue with your body waiting till lunch to eat. Point 5. Debunking common misconceptions. Intermittent fasting is really not that hard to start. It doesn't require extreme discipline and makes doing your work actually 10 times easier. Studies show that intermittent fasting does not cause changes to muscle gain or loss, so you don't have to worry about that at all. Just eat your protein during the eating window and you will be completely fine. Intermittent fasting is often paired with weight loss, and this is why I originally didn't want to do it, because I felt that I didn't need to lose any weight. But this will actually not make you lose weight if you are getting the same amount of calories in just during your eating window. It can be used for a tool for weight loss if you implement it that way, but we are focusing on maximum productivity here. Try intermittent fasting, incorporating it however it works with your routine to 10x your productivity and help achieve a flow state when doing the hard work that you would usually dread and not even do in the first place. You have now heard the most important productivity tool, the one to 10x the amount of work you do in just a short while. Try intermittent fasting and let me know how it works for you in the comments. See ya.